MicDrop Analysis, where we dive deep into the hidden meanings and layers of complexity in music. Today we're embarking on a surreal journey with Busdriver's track, Unemployed Black Astronaut. Now, right from the title, you're probably thinking, what's going on here? It grabs you with this vivid, almost playful image. But as we dig deeper, we're going to uncover so much more. An intense commentary on identity, race, the music industry, and what it takes to stay real in a world that's all about commercializing everything. Let's first talk about the metaphor that keeps coming up. Busdriver as the first black astronaut. It's not just some random line thrown in there, it's at the heart of the song's message.
I am the first black astronaut to walk the bare moon from my air balloon. I am the first black astronaut to walk the bare moon.
At first it feels like he's celebrating a big achievement, like he's broken new ground and gone where no one else has. He's walking on uncharted territory, especially in a world where racial barriers often hold people back. But then we're hit with the word bare. He's not just walking on the moon, it's a bare moon. That shifts the tone completely. The moon, empty and lifeless, turns into this symbol of isolation. Sure, he's made it to this incredible place, but there's nothing there for him. It's a lonely, empty victory, which really shows how being the first at something doesn't always come with the praise or recognition you would expect. He's reached this high point, but the world around him feels cold and still unwelcoming. And the air balloon, at first it sounds kind of whimsical, even fun. But if you really think about it, an air balloon is fragile, totally dependent on the wind, and could fall apart at any moment. It's like, even though he's achieving something huge, it still feels unstable. Like it could all fall apart at any second. His success is real, yes, but it's also pretty fragile. Alright, let's dive into the first verse where Busdriver really starts picking apart the world around him. He kicks things off with the following.
This is a resurgence of the happy black rappers, but our African medallions are handicapped placards.
Oof, that's a tough line. What he's doing here is calling out how black identity gets commodified in mainstream rap. Like, you know, those African medallions that used to be symbols of pride, heritage, and empowerment? Well, now they're just empty fashion statements, basically reduced to handicap placards, as he calls them. He's making a point here about how something powerful and meaningful can lose its value when it gets pulled into the commercialized world.
I'm alphabetized in the modernized retro. In my press follows the water size, my rent's low.
It's a very clear way of saying that he's been neatly sorted and labeled by the industry, almost like a product on a shelf. The whole modernized retro bit, well, that's him pointing out how the music industry loves to repackage old trends, turning what was once authentic into something that they can sell out again. But despite being part of the system, he's still struggling. My press photos are wallet-sized, my rent's low. Well, translation, even with all of his talent, he's not seeing the rewards. Like so many underground artists, he's grinding but not getting the financial recognition that should come with it.
Why don't you shake me? I'm malleable, fleshy putty, and a salable with dual dressing and a similar to urban field testing.
Here, Busdriver's taking a shot at how the music industry loves to mold artists into whatever's trending. Basically saying, fine, go ahead, turn me into whatever you want. This highlights how easily artists get pushed into a box. That image of being malleable, flesh and putty is, it's super vivid and kind of unsettling. It's like he's being treated as something that can just be bent and reshaped, losing who he is really in the process.
Why don't you shake me? I'm malleable, fleshy putty, and a salable with dual dressing and a similar to urban field testing.
Busdriver's still pushing the idea that artists and people in general get reduced to something that's easy to consume. It's like saying the industry chops up these unique identities into little bite-sized pieces. Something easy for everybody to digest. It's absurd, it's surreal, but when you think about it, it's also spot on. In the hook, the astronaut metaphor comes back, but this time it hits even harder. Busdriver raps,
I am the first black astronaut to walk the bare moon from my air balloon. Count my beliefs into the desired shape and put them sound asleep in the fireplace.
Now, this is one of the most powerful lines in the whole song, in my opinion. What he's getting at here is how the system, whether it's the music industry or society in general, pushes people to reshape their beliefs, to fit in, to become whatever's expected. And after all that reshaping, well, what happens to all those beliefs? Well, they're tossed aside, thrown into the fireplace like they don't matter anymore. It's a pretty haunting image, and it really drives home how often we end up sacrificing our personal values just to get ahead or to be accepted. The second verse is where Busdriver really takes a sharp look at the mainstream rap culture. What he's really getting at here is how some popular rappers, after hitting it big, end up losing touch with reality. These, quote, holes in the sky represent how disconnected they become from everyday struggles. Yeah, they've reached the top, sure, but in the process, they've left behind the people and communities that they once claimed to represent.
It will sell you a silver disc soaked in laughter because you've been brainwashed. Out of your ears leaks soap lather.
What Busdriver is saying here is, it's pretty clear. He's taking aim at how the music and art get turned into products. That silver disc, well, that's a CD, but instead of giving you something real and meaningful, it's just soaked in laughter, as he says. Basically, entertainment without any real depth. And that soap lather leaking from your ears, well, that's Busdriver's way of saying that he's been brainwashed by this mass-producing culture. Instead of thinking critically, we're being scrubbed clean of anything important. Fed stuff that's just meant to distract us, not make us think. And in the final verse, it's where Busdriver really lays bare his frustrations with the music industry. And when he raps, he's talking about his own journey as an artist. He's that cathartic writer, someone who pours everything into his work, raw and real. But the labels, well, they can't figure out how to sell him. He's too different, too honest, and the industry just doesn't know how to handle it. Well, there's the gut punch. He knows how talented he is. He knows his value, but the industry, well, they've moved on, chasing after a trendier, more marketable act. And so what does he do? He starts a fire, literally and figuratively. It's his way of saying, I'm not fading into the background quietly. He's rebelling against the system that's pushed him aside. And in the end, Unemployed Black Astronaut takes us on a surreal, introspective ride that digs deep into the pressures of the music industry, the mainstream culture, and how black identity gets commodified. Busdriver doesn't just tell us how he feels, he shows us through vivid, sometimes bizarre imagery. He plays with ideas of isolation, compromise, and frustration, but he does it with this sharp humor and a touch of absurdity that, it keeps things interesting. The astronaut metaphor really hits hard. It's about reaching new heights. It's about loneliness that comes with success and how easy it is to feel completely disconnected from everything around you. Thanks for watching MicDrop Analysis. Till next time.